Hello everyone, this is the Shitcoin Detective, and today I wanted to talk to you about a topic which is what happens if someone rug pulls half of the liquidity pool. So let's imagine a token for a second, which is uh, the developer makes a token, the Genesis block gives him all the tokens that are ever to be existing, and let's say he places it into the liquidity pool, all of the tokens. Doesn't matter now how much, if he keeps some or if he doesn't keep them, and burns the LPs. Let's say he burns 50% of the LPs. Now the question I would like to get an answer for is what happens if he rug pulls the remaining LP. So what happens with your price? Like, do you lose value, how much you lose, and these are the questions I would like to get an answer for. So this is an article about Uniswap. PancakeSwap is using the same formulas, and the user interface is very similar. So the underlying method that they are determining the price of any token is this. It's a curve called x times y equals k, and basically what happens is the less tokens you have in the liquidity pool, the price goes higher. It's a the name of this is constant product formula. If you want to search it online, then you will find that this is what the most exchanges are going to be using. So yeah, this is actually quite easy to code. So what I did was I made an exchange, right? It's not very hard to do. So I use Python for this. I cannot code in Solidity or JavaScript. I'm using Python. So I made an exchange simulator. I made an exchange simulator. The Ethereum and I mean the base token is going to be called BNB, and I placed 1 million token here into the liquidity pool originally, and I have an init that if I call this, then it's resets to exchange. So we can run different scenarios. So I set up 100 BNB, 1 million token, set up the K value, and I have a way of resetting the entire simulation. So for an exchange to work, I need to have a buy and a sell function. A real exchange is much harder than this. This is calculating with the token values. So as you can see, this is the trading formula. So RA is one asset, RB is the other asset, delta A and delta B, not A, alpha and beta, is your trade, how much it's trading, and basically this is gamma, which is the fee on PancakeSwap and Uniswap and other swaps. It's usually 0.3%. For the purpose of this test, I set the fees at 0, so we end up with nice numbers. So I'm just solving this for above formula for 0 and delta B and or BNB, and making a few, it's just forming the numbers, casting it to different variables, so we can work with it. So yeah, let's see if buying and selling is working. So I just init the exchange, and then we buy for 1 BNB, which gives us roughly 10,000 tokens. So it gives us about 1% of the all tokens, which is what we expect. If it's 100 per BNB in the liquidity pool and we spend 1, then we get almost 1% of the tokens. And we buy and we sell it back, and we get back our 1 BNB. There are no fees attached to it. So let's take a second look at it and say we buy for 1 BNB, and then another 5 people buy for 1 BNB, and then we sell back. Then we made 10% profit. So yay, good for us. The price went up in the meantime. Maybe I will at some point add the function to request the price. I think this simulator will appear in future videos, and if this is interesting for you, then I will make some more videos about this. But for now, let's go for the main attraction of today. What happens if a rug pull, a half pull, I'm just going to call this half pull, happens? So you buy a token for 1 BNB and then you get so many tokens, and then this is the rug pulling, so half pulling. So we halve the token numbers and we halve the BNB numbers in the liquidity pool and recalculate the K value, which it happens after every transaction, and then you try to sell the same tokens that you bought. There were no transactions in between, just the half pulling. As you can see, you receive the same amount of tokens as without the rug pull, of course. When you sell, as you see here, you don't receive back your original 1 BNB, you receive back 99 cent, 0.99 BNB. So as you can see, some of your value is lost. It's not much, it's 1%. That's it's sometimes it's unnoticeable because of the fees that these tokens have. They can have a tax fee of 10% tax, and then you don't notice this. But let's say you didn't buy for 1 BNB, let's say you bought for 100 BNB, or 100 of you bought, every one of you bought for 1 BNB. So what happens is, if you buy for 100 BNB and you receive half of the tokens in total, and when you sell back after this half pool happens, you only receive back 66 BNB. So as you can see, the larger the movement of the value, the larger your losses. The 34 BNB here is your loss because someone removed half of the liquidity pool. So that's noticeable. 34% loss is a lot. So, but yeah, here is something which is actually can happen. So let's say let's go back one step, and let's say you bought again for 1 BNB, and when the rug pull happens for half of the liquidity pool, the second thing which happens there is that the rug puller sells those tokens. So not only does he remove the BNB, he gets back the BNB, and he gets also half of the tokens, right? He gets 500,000 tokens, which was originally placed back. So he gets 500,000 tokens, and when you try to sell afterwards, as you can see here, the text wasn't really updated. I can just place this one here. So when you buy, you get the same amount of tokens as before, 9,900. When you sell, you only get back 0.25 tokens and 0.25 BNB. So this is basically a 75% loss, or 1/4 of the value is lost, because, and that's what you expect. You not only did you remove half the BNB in the liquidity pool, you also sold a bunch of tokens. So those tokens, removing the value is gonna happen. So if it's a scam and they are selling it and they move on, no marketing, no mooning anymore, then they walk away with 0.75 BNBs of yours. And then let's take a look at the last. It's not really a scam, it's also malicious activity and taking advantage of you, which I don't like. I don't like. My purpose here with these videos is that you can protect your investment and you're not being taken advantage of. So what we will see with some tokens, especially tokens which have a tax assigned to them, is that these taxes will increase the value of the liquidity pool, and the owner of the liquidity pool token, which they maybe sometimes they own 25% for say, let's say they own 25% of the liquidity pool unlocked, then some of these taxes will increase the value of that and they will sell this. And this is in fact happening on very large tokens. I mean tokens which have $1 billion market cap. This is happening. So you buy this token, right? You buy the token and you got your initial, yeah, let's see, this is missing from here. So you buy your token, you got your 9,900 tokens, which what you expect from this formula. And once you did that, the LP value will go up to 101. It's expected. I mean, you put there one extra BNB. There was 100 before, so there is no 101. And they take out 1% of this liquidity pool, right? And they sell off the token and they take the BNB values, and in that case they walk away with almost 2 BNB. It's yeah, this formula is a little bit, it's a 1% off, I think, but that doesn't matter. So they walk away with 2 BNBs, and after that the LP token, the value and in the liquidity pool is only 99, because they took out 1 BNB and they sold another 1 BNB. And that's what you actually see, whether once you start selling your token, 2% of the value is lost. So that's not very good, especially if you're a large investor and you bought it for 10 BNBs, because suddenly your 10 BNBs are worth 9.8. And if you are 100,000 investors and you bought it for 1,000 BNB, that's 20 BNB that they're taking away. They took 21 BNB profit, and they walk away, and your initial 1,000 BNB investment is only worth 980. And this can go up, tokens. That are taking, that the liquidity pool is tampered with on a daily basis, that they are doing that to make profit of you. It's a very slow bleeding of the value of your tokens. So the value of the token not only goes up and down because the token is being bought and sold, but it also happens because of the token liquidity pool value goes up and down. And sometimes the developer have access to it, and sometimes they just rug pull it and or the money is gone. But sometimes they tamper with it in a very sneaky way, which is unnoticeable. If this one has a 10% tax, then you will not notice that instead of the 10 BNB you put in, you only receive back 9.8, because it's only 2% of the trade. But it's nonetheless, this is taking away value from the token owners. So yeah, this is probably a very long video. I hope you enjoyed it. I think I will return to this simulator, and I will use it in other videos to demonstrate different things. It would mean a lot if you would like this video, if you enjoy this, and you would leave a comment of what you think about my method here, and subscribe to the channel, of course. So everyone, safe trading. This has been the Shitcoin Detective.